The last time I did a bread tutorial was half a year ago. It's not that we don't usually make bread. It's just that we record bread tutorials less often. Today, I'm sharing this snowflake pull-apart bread. I highly recommend making the bread dough for this. It remains very soft even after being left at room temperature for 3 days. Then, pair it with the snowflake frosting on top. Whether you make it into this pull-apart style or not, or use paper liners or individual shapes. Regarding the topic of snowflake, it is a very popular style in bakeries. High gluten flour 260 grams, sugar 20 grams, salt 2.6 grams, dry yeast 2.6 grams. Whole egg liquid 30 grams, condensed milk 15 grams, milk 150 grams. Points to note regarding the liquid part. Use cold in summer. Use warm in winter. If the weather is hotter, freeze it into ice shavings before using. This way, you can better control the dough temperature. Some students find their dough getting softer and softer as they knead. Your dough temperature is too high. This will affect the dough's window pane test. After kneading to achieve a thin membrane, shape it into a round ball. Place it in an environment at 26 degrees Celsius and 60% humidity to proof for 40 minutes. Some students asked, what should I do if the room temperature here exceeds 26 degrees in summer? It's actually easy to resolve for home baking. Just shorten your fermentation time. Because the higher the temperature, the faster it will ferment. For home-based bakeries, it's still recommended to control the temperature. Bread that has had enough fermentation time will also have a better flavor. During this time, prepare the snowflake frosting. Soften it to a toothpaste consistency at room temperature. Use 10 grams of butter, 8 grams of icing sugar, and 10 grams of milk, and 11 grams of low-gluten flour. This snowflake frosting can be applied to various breads. It really is very versatile. It's recommended to use icing sugar. The blending speed of caster sugar is too slow. This amount is very small. In fact, softening the butter can be quite troublesome during preparation. The final blended state should be a creamy texture. Here are some important points to note. Be sure not to oversoften the butter. This batch is the result of overmelted butter. The final state is a smooth, drooping consistency. You might say it can't be used. It's not that it can't be done. It's just that its final state after baking is not as good as butter that has been properly softened. The three-dimensional effect created by the snowflake frosting. This is actually a very small detail. Why make this comparison? It is also to hope everyone can make this bread well. Divide the dough into 32 grams each. Each one can simply be shaped into a ball. You can use your preferred method. Like me, you can directly roll it into a ball. Or folding methods will work too. However, finally, you need to pinch the closure at the bottom tight. Pinch it tightly. This way, the bread will have a more three-dimensional effect. Keep a distance when placing them. Place them at a temperature of 36 degrees. In an environment with 60% humidity. Let them rest for about an hour. Squeeze the snowflake frosting on before baking. If you prefer the style shown in the main image, just keep a little distance when squeezing. Some prefer it dense, and some like to squeeze in a circular pattern. That's all fine. There are no restrictions. The oven has been preheated. Today, I'm using the Heishi 17. Bake at 170 degrees with both top and bottom heat for 20 minutes. All set. The diameter of the mold I'm using is 21.9 centimeters. The height is 7.7 centimeters. A final reminder. Be careful when removing the mold. The freshly baked bread. If you touch it, it won't regain its shape. When I dragged out the first tray from the bottom, it directly fell onto the table. And then it caved in the middle. I had no choice but to bake a second tray. It's truly a disaster waiting to happen everywhere.